Don Tapscott's The Digital Economy Anniversary Edition, Rethinking Promise and Peril in the Age of Networked Intelligence, takes readers back in time to the early days of the digital revolution. The book uses the music industry as a case study, exploring how the music labels missed a massive opportunity. It also looks at how the internet turned the industry upside down and what this means for the future of business and society as a whole. So let's rewind to the early 1990s. The internet was still in its infancy, but it was already beginning to show its disruptive potential. And who better to illustrate this than the iconic band R.E.M. In 1995, R.E.M. took a bold step by using the internet to promote their tour. They posted their tour dates online, shared audio and video interviews, and even offered concert footage. This was a groundbreaking move at the time, and it hinted at the profound changes that were about to sweep through the music industry. But here's the thing. The music labels, the gatekeepers of the industry, were slow to catch on. They viewed the internet as a threat rather than the massive opportunity it truly was. For decades, the music industry had been built on a physical product model. CDs, records, and tapes were sold in stores, and the industry relied heavily on a complex web of distributors, promoters, and retailers. This model was expensive and inefficient, with less than 10% of CDs actually turning a profit. The best-selling albums were essentially subsidizing the rest of the catalog. The internet should have been a godsend for the music industry. It offered a way to bypass the traditional distribution channels and connect artists directly with their fans. Imagine a world where musicians could release their music online, reach a global audience, and receive instant feedback. This would have allowed record companies to nurture a wider range of artists, rather than focusing all their energy on a handful of potential superstars. But instead of embracing this new model, the music labels clung stubbornly to their old ways. They saw the internet as a threat to their control over distribution and their ability to sell physical products. This resistance to change is a classic example of what Tapscott calls the innovator's dilemma. When a new technology disrupts an industry, the incumbents often struggle to adapt because they're too invested in their existing business models. Now, let's fast forward to 2003. In a New York Times article, Tapscott proposed a radical idea. Music should stop being a product and become a service. He called it everywhere internet audio. The concept was simple. Music would be streamed to listeners over the internet, and they would pay a small monthly fee for access to a vast library of songs. This would be like having a jukebox in your pocket with the ability to listen to any song you wanted, anytime, anywhere. At the time, this idea sounded revolutionary. But fast forward to today, and we see that this model has become a reality. Companies like Spotify, Rhapsody, and Pandora have embraced the streaming model, and even tech giants like Amazon and Google have entered the fray. The music industry is finally starting to adapt, but it took them far too long to get here. The streaming model offers several advantages. First, it provides a more sustainable revenue stream for artists and labels. Instead of relying on album sales, artists can earn money based on the number of times their songs are streamed. Second, it gives listeners access to a virtually unlimited library of music, which is a huge benefit in an age where people have diverse and ever-changing tastes. And third, it opens up new opportunities for personalized music experiences. Imagine a future where your music service knows your preferences better than you do. It could create custom playlists based on your mood, the time of day, or even the weather. You could ask it to play upbeat tunes from your high school years with great guitar riffs, and it would deliver. This level of personalization is only possible because of the digital infrastructure that underpins the streaming model. But the shift to a digital networked economy isn't just transforming the music industry, it's challenging the very foundations of capitalism itself. As Tapscott earlier pointed out, the internet is giving rise to a new kind of economy, one that is more collaborative, open, and socially driven. This is what he calls Capitalism 2.0. In this new paradigm, the most important assets are the knowledge and creativity of individuals, not physical or financial capital. Companies are learning that they can achieve more by collaborating and sharing resources than by hoarding them. For example, IBM embraced the open-source Linux operating system, which saved them millions of dollars and generated billions in revenue. Similarly, Nike shared its patents through the GreenXchange, recognizing that a rising tide lifts all boats. This shift toward collaboration and openness is also transforming the way we think about government. In the digital age, governments can become platforms for social innovation, opening up their data and processes to citizens and businesses. This can lead to more efficient, transparent, and responsive governance. But the transition to Capitalism 2.0 won't be easy. The old guard, the defenders of the status quo, will resist change. The Occupy movement and other social movements are already challenging the inequalities and injustices of the current system. As the digital revolution unfolds, we will face profound questions about the future of our economy, our society, and our democracy. The key to navigating this transition is leadership. We need visionary leaders who understand the potential of the digital age and are willing to challenge the old paradigms. We need leaders who are committed to creating a more just, sustainable, and inclusive world. As we look to the future, we must remember that the digital revolution is not just about technology. It's about people. It's about how we work, how we learn, how we communicate, and how we live. The choices we make today will shape the world of tomorrow. This has been a BrightLearn video from BrightLearn.ai on the book The Digital Economy, Anniversary Edition, Rethinking Promise and Peril in the Age of Networked Intelligence by Don Tapscott. Visit BrightLearn.ai for more fascinating videos like this one, and visit naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage and breaking news on critical stories that keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.